Hello, everyone. A very good morning to everyone present here. And on behalf of the ACM PESU ECC student chapter, I would like to welcome you all to ACM PESU ECC's second iteration of Hacktoberfest HackNight 2.0. My name is Sujan Deshpande, and I am the vice chair of the ACM student chapter here at PES University Electronic City campus. Venkat?
Hey, Sujan.
Hi. And Venkat is the chair of the chapter. So let's take you a little bit of what we're going to do in this event and what we're looking forward to. So in the beginning, what is Hacktoberfest? If you're not familiar with Hacktoberfest before, Hacktoberfest is a month-long virtual event to celebrate open source contributions presented by DigitalOcean, Intel, and Dev. It's the easiest way to get into open source. So let's break it down a little bit more. What is open source in the first place? Well, open source is basically programs and code that is available on the public domain for everyone to use. And in this case, you may be familiar with a website called GitHub. GitHub is where we host open source code. And the whole event, Hacktoberfest, revolves around contributing to code that is hosted on GitHub. So what are the rules for this event? Like how does Hacktoberfest actually work? So it's pretty simple, really. In order to promote contributions from all around the world and from people of all skill sets, what DigitalOcean has done is they made a couple of simple rules. You have to contribute to any repository on GitHub, and you need 4 successful pull requests. And what do we mean by contribution? Contribution basically means any meaningful addition to the code base. What are pull requests, you may ask? If you're not familiar with pull requests, how to make pull requests, how actual contributions work, then we'll be having a webinar at 2 p.m. today. So make sure to attend that, and we'll get all down into the nitty-gritties of how you can actually contribute and actually submit your first pull request. Now, these pull requests don't have to be something like a massive code change. It may be intimidating for some beginners that, oh, I don't know how this works. How do I contribute? No. There are many different types of pull requests. From a bug fix, it can be an enhancement. It can even be a documentation change. All of these are considered as valid pull requests. But we'll get more into those in the details later on. Now, you may ask, what am I getting for doing all of this? I'm putting a lot of effort into submitting 4 pull requests. The great thing is DigitalOcean actually sends you a t-shirt. Yes. So on 4 successful pull requests, you get an actual Hacktoberfest t-shirt sent directly from DigitalOcean. And along with that, you even get some amazing goodies and swag. Now, say you don't want a t-shirt, you can contribute that money to plant a tree in Hacktoberfest forest. So all your effort definitely goes for a good cause. As always, if there are any questions, you can drop them in the chat and we'll address them as soon as possible. Now, we know what Hacktoberfest is. What is HackNight? So HackNight 2.0 is the event that we from ACM PESU ECC are organizing. And what we aim to do is bring together all the people from all the different stages of open source contributions, whether you're a beginner or whether you're an intermediate or whether you're an advanced. We want to bring everyone together and have a nice fun-filled weekend of just open source contributions. So if you're a beginner, we'll teach you just from the basics, how to create a GitHub account, how to get Git set up, how to create a pull request, and how to inch towards becoming an actual contributor. And if you work with open source, then this is a great opportunity to meet and network with other people who have worked with open source. We'll be having a couple of talks from experienced people. We have a talk coming up from a speaker from Red Hat. We have a talk coming up with someone who's maintaining actual real-life open source projects. That's going to be later this evening. And we also have a talk from someone who's attended Google Summer of Code. Now, a small hint, Google Summer of Code is a very, very amazing program. The talk about that will be tomorrow at 11:30, so make sure you don't miss it. It's going to be really cool. About HackNight 2.0. So this is going to be a 2-day event. So we start today and it will go all the way until midnight tomorrow. We filled it up with exciting projects. We have a 24/7 help desk. It's going to be a lot of fun. As I mentioned, here we've got a schedule. You can see that we're in the inauguration right now. At 11, the keynote speech has been delayed by a little bit. So at 11:30, we'll have a keynote speech by Gaurav Sharma from Red Hat. So he's been working at Red Hat and he's done a lot of open source contributions, and he's very experienced in the field. So he'll be giving us some insight into how this works and why it's so important. Now, the key thing about our event now is we're going to have something called a bug bounty. Now, this bug bounty is going to be super exciting. We have amazing goodies. We have amazing cash prizes to give you all. And we promise it's going to leave you on your toes this entire weekend. We'll get more into bug bounty soon. As I mentioned, at 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., we have a Git workshop. If you're a beginner and you aren't familiar with what to do, and if this is just too overwhelming for you, make sure you attend the Git workshop. We'll get you right up to speed. At 7 p.m. today, Akash Mirvasia, who is an actual open source contributor, he's maintaining a couple of large scale projects. So he'll be talking and letting us know what maintainers expect from contributors. So because as contributors, we might just contribute however we like, but we want to make sure that those contributions make actual sense and they help the maintainers, they help the project. So Akash is going to be talking about that. At night tonight, we're going to have some games, fun and games. Be ready for that. 11:30 tomorrow will be a talk about the Google Summer of Code from Preeti. That's going to be very interesting. And we'll throw in some more fun and interesting events here and there. So keep a watch on Discord. Right. What's the goal of this event? As I mentioned, for beginners, we want you to get familiar with the basics of Git and GitHub, start making contributions to public repositories and projects, and understand what open source is. Because open source is a vast field. And let me tell you, the future is open source. So getting a nice head start into this field is an amazing way to go. And what do we have for the beginner, for the advanced and intermediate people? You have a chance to work in real time with maintainers on your project. If you've ever tried contributing on an open source repository, you might know that it's just so big. You don't know where to start. You don't know how you should go upon a particular issue. So for this event, we've got a whole lot of projects lined up for you, and all the maintainers will be available all the time. So if you have any issues, how do I go about this? What do you want me to do? You can talk to any of the maintainers directly and get real-time feedback on how to contribute properly. And if you submit your 4 successful pull requests, you will get an amazing t-shirt from DigitalOcean. So I hope most of you are part of the Discord server right now. Let's have a small demonstration of all the features we've got on the Discord server. Venkat, would you like to take over?
Sure. So just in case you've joined the Discord server and you have not filled out the form, I'll give you a small demo as to what is there, what you can expect, and what each channel means. So I'll just share my screen here. Shujan, can you see it?
Yep, we can see it now.
Okay, so this is a new Discord account. It's my brother's that I have just joined the HackNight server with. So the first thing that you're going to do is go to server info, and there's a bot over here, and this bot has a registration form. So it's very important that you fill out this form because it gives us crucial details as to whether you are eligible to win prizes or not. Hint, if you're a college student, you are eligible. Once you're done, make sure to go ahead and check mark here. If you noticed, there are a few fields that just showed up over here, and these fields show up if you get this participant role allotted to you. Now, instead of going into how Discord works and all of that, just understand that you need to do this check mark to reveal certain chats. So this unlocks contributions where you can see all the contributions that have happened to all the repos, and it unlocks a few more channels over here, like the lounge, where you can ask general questions related to the hackathon. After a certain amount of time, you will also be able to access the role called form filled. So what that enables you to do is there's a chat in which you can select what repos you want to work on. Doing that will allow you to directly talk with the maintainers in a special chat room created for their repo. So Chaitanya is helping out. This is it. Now we have all these repos over here. And if you click on, say, employee satisfaction, right? So that's J. I'm just going to click on this. What that does is it opens up this project over here. And here you'll have direct access to the maintainer of the repo where you can clarify your doubts and communicate with them. So that's it. Should I go ahead and show the Hacktoberfest website and the dashboard as well?
Yeah, sure. I think we can do that.
Sure. So for this event, as Shujan mentioned, we have a bug bounty system set up. So over here, we have this leaderboard that's been built into our website, which shows who has the highest bounty among all the participants. Now, right now, these are junk values, but you may notice that they aren't sorted in the correct order. So that might actually be a bug for you to go and fix. So go ahead and check out the repo on the ACM organization on GitHub. Other than this, there is also the official Hacktoberfest website. So as you can see here, I've already logged in, but the first time when you go to this website, you'll be prompted to log into your GitHub. Once that's done, it will show you how many PRs you have submitted. So for example, I have submitted one over here. I've submitted sorted dict to this repo. And this is the key or the legend showing what state your PR is in. So there is a maturation period of 14 days, I think, which has been activated yesterday because I made this PR yesterday. And these are all the states that it can take up. Now, for all ACM PESU ECC repos, we have the Hacktoberfest label on it. So if you make a valid PR and if the maintainer marks it as Hacktoberfest complete, then your PR is going to get accepted once the maturation period is over.
Yeah.
Four of
Venkat,
these.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's. I think we can show them the repositories first and go a little bit stepwise.
Sure.
Yeah. Let me just share that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so we have quite a bit of repositories. So let me just explain exactly how this bug bounty works. So over here, if you go to the official GitHub link, GitHub profile of ACM PESU ECC, you can see we've got a repository called Hacktoberfest 2020. Now, we'll drop this link on Discord as well, so don't worry, you don't have to search for it. But what this basically does is we have a lot of repositories that we as a team have curated for you guys. And in all of these repositories, the best part is they're real world projects. All of these are, all of these have a real impact. They're not, and they are useful. So we have almost 30 projects over here across a variety of topics. So if you're interested in Python programming, we've got Python. If you're interested in C or C++, we've got programs there. We've got Android repositories, we've got Java, we've got Rust, we've got Golang. So we've got machine learning. We've got basically something for everyone over here. So the first step that you'd want to do is go to this repository. We'll put the link in the Discord and just have a look at all the different projects that we have. You can see the different topics. Now say that you like one of these projects and you want to work forward for it. So let's say I want to work for credit card verifier. So just have a click on that and you can see the actual repository credit card verifier. Here you can see the different different files, and you can see something a little bit about the repository. Now, how contributions work in open source is there are usually issues. So every single repository has an issues tab over here. You can click on the issues and you can see there are lots of different issues. Now, issues can be broadly categorized into 3 types, which is enhancements, documentation, and bug fixes. So we've got a good spread of all 3 of them, so whichever you're interested in. But right now, let's see. There are quite a few issues over here, and you can see there are some labels. We've got good first issue, Hacktoberfest, and we've got a bounty value. As you can see, there's a bounty value. So as explained earlier, this event goes all about a bug bounty. So every single issue that you fix out of this list, which we have, the list of 30 repositories, every single issue carries a bounty. Your goal as a participant in this event, should you choose to accept it, is to get the highest bounty as possible. Now, all of these issues have a bounty. You can see the bounty 10, bounty 10, bounty 10, bounty 15. And these bounties are roughly proportional to the amount of effort they'll take. So say you want to work on one of these issues, just click on it and drop a message saying, hey, I would like to work on this. So if you find any issue you like, just drop a message saying, hey, I'd like to work on this. And that way the maintainer knows how many people are working on it. So that way, if someone else is already working on that fix, you don't spend your time working on it as well. So, we distribute the effort. So once you drop a message over here, the maintainer will assign you, and then you can just begin working on that issue. Another thing is, you may really like a project and you may not find an issue for a bug that you want to fix. That's perfectly all right. You can just submit a contribution directly, and the maintainer will look into it and will definitely give you a bounty as well. Once you're done with your contribution, you can go into pull requests. You can create a new pull request, mention what you have done, and if the pull request is valid, the maintainer will give you a bounty, and that pull request will count towards your DigitalOcean t-shirt. So you don't have to worry about, no, DigitalOcean has a bunch of rules on how the pull request should be considered, but don't worry, we'll handle all of that for you. So if you make sure that you have 4 valid pull requests during this event, and in this case, valid just means that you're contributing something to the project, you're adding something, you will definitely hit the 4 number, and you will get a t-shirt and goodies from DigitalOcean. So we have lots of repositories. You can check it out on our GitHub profile. Now, Venkat mentioned the leaderboard. So let's look into how the leaderboard works. Again, the link for the leaderboard as well will be put on the chat. So this is the leaderboard right here. And the leaderboard is going to be very basic. It's going to show you who's the highest rank, what's the GitHub username, and what's the total score. And as Venkat mentioned, these are currently placeholder values. So we will reset the leaderboard once the event starts. Small Easter egg, as you can see over here, the values are not sorted in a descending order. So if you head over to the list of all the repositories that we have, the leaderboard itself is one of the repositories. So if you're familiar with React and you want to work on this, you can definitely drop a comment on that issue and say, yes, I want to work on sorting the scores. Small Easter egg over there, but yes, keep an eye on the leaderboard. That's where you can see all your total points. Now, there are going to be exciting prizes, and there are going to be cash prizes for getting the highest points. So definitely encourage you to put your full best effort. If at any point you have any doubts about how the leaderboard works or how I should contribute or how the bounty system works, drop a message on the help desk chat. So since all of you are participants, you have access to the help desk chat on Discord. You can just drop a message there and our team will get back to you as soon as possible with an answer. Now, let's jump back into the schedule of what we've got. We're going to, coming up soon at around 11:30, we're going to have a talk by Gaurav Sharma. Now, he's an associate solution architect at Red Hat. He's an RHCA level 14. He's an RHCI. He's extremely skilled in this field, and we're very excited to have him here. So make sure you tune in at 11:30 for this talk. Yes, so we're back to how the bug bounty works. We've gone right through that. This is the leaderboard, as I showed you. At 2 p.m. today, we're having the Git and GitHub talk. Fun and games all night. And we will have an open mic as well. So if you have any talent, such as music or singing, that will be up as well. All right. Venkat, do we want to go into anything next?
Sure, Shujan. So just one more thing that I want to mention actually is right now you may see that there are only 1 or 2 issues on certain repositories, but that's actually because these repositories are sequential. So for the maintainer to actually publish the second issue, someone has to solve the first one. So an example of this is the Zodiac Killer repository, and you can go ahead and have a look at it.
So we are sure that during the event, you will definitely find some of the other issue that you will definitely want to work on. So as Venkat mentioned, here is a Zodiac Killer repository. You may see that there are only 1 or 2 issues. So for example, Zodiac Killer has only 1 issue right now, but that's because we'll be putting in more issues as the event progresses. So if you like a certain project, if you're interested in a certain field, keep checking the issues page because we'll be updating the issues throughout the event. So this is just a small overview of what all the projects that we have here.
One more thing is, if you are going through any repo, right, you're working on a project, and you see that there's scope for improvement in a certain place. Like for example, you want to improve the CSS. You think you can improve the UI, UX or whatever. And there is actually no issue that's already been created. You can talk to the maintainer and make an issue on your own. The maintainer will coordinate with you, and the PR will be valid for that issue.
Yes. So you will definitely get a bounty for that issue as well. So you can just hop onto the Discord channel for that particular repo and talk to the maintainer saying, hey, I would like to work on this. Would that be fine? The maintainer will get back to you and let you know how they want you to go about it, how many bounty points will be issued and all that. If you want to create a new issue, you can make one right here. So if you found, say, a bug or something which is not in the project, which is not mentioned in the issues tab of the project already, you can go ahead and make a new issue and get started working on that. Now, a quick note, we're not, being an open source event, we're not limiting contributions in this event to only our repositories. So if you submit a pull request to any external repository or any other project, you will be eligible for the t-shirt from DigitalOcean. So that is 4 total pull requests. But for the scope of this event in particular, only pull requests to these repositories will be considered, because only pull requests to these repositories will get you a bounty, and that bounty will get you the prizes for this event. Are there any questions? You can drop them in the chat of Google Meet. Anybody has some doubts? The help desk channel is always open on Discord as well, and you can drop any questions there.
Yep. If you have any questions related to the schedule and how everything's going to happen, you can ask now on this meet. You can just send a message on chat.
But if we don't have any doubts, then quick note, yes, we have sent the link of all the repositories on the Doubt channel page, and if you're interested, you can start working right now. The Git webinar will happen at 2 p.m. So if you're a beginner, just hold off till then. We'll give you a quick introduction into how Git works, how GitHub works, and how you can actually make your first PR. Till then, you're free to explore into all the repositories, get familiar with the code base, look into what languages you like, what projects are there in that language, etc. And if you aren't sure like what to work on, say you know Python, but you aren't sure like what would be a good fit for me, then just go into the help desk channel and say, hey, I like Python, but I don't know what issue to work on. Could you help me out? So that way, one of our team members will direct you towards a project that is working with Python and has some easy issues that you could definitely work on. So yes, keep active on Discord throughout the entire event. That's going to be the main source of communication.